I apologize if, like, for the rest of this episode, you can hear how badly it is raining outside. Like, it is pouring. Hi, I'm Stacy Queen, and welcome to the Diva Dolls Pod, the pod where we discuss the then, now, and forever of women's wrestling within the WWE. Ow. Welcome back. We are here. It has been another week in wrestling. I have had a little bit of an absence, but I've returned. We're here. We're back. We're ready to tackle everything that happened this week on Raw and SmackDown. We're going to talk a little bit about the WWE Speed tournament bracket that has been announced. Plus, I will also give you my Bash in Berlin predictions. How about that? I do apologize about our little absence. Diva has been going through it. Diva being me, solo diva. We've been trying to work on how we can regroup and redirect our classic throwback series because they are my favorite to make, just personally. I feel like I learned so much from them. We've got some exciting things in the works. Nothing locked down yet, but watch this space. Things are coming hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. Anyway, let's just dive straight into it because we've got a lot to talk about today, and I don't want to lose my voice because I'm going to be talking quite a bit. So first up, we have Monday Night Raw, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The first women's segment we get is a recap where Ivy Nile has actually turned on Maxine Dupree finally. So we get a recap of what went down last week. And before the match, Chad Gable officially welcomes Ivy Nile into American Made. The match in question is Ivy Nile versus Maxine Dupree. Maxine comes out first, and she looks incredible. Like, the look she had, like, I don't want to... To me, it was giving very much, like, Kelly vibes. Like, The hair was wavy, gorgeous, pink, strappy. We love. She looked gorgeous. And then Ivy Nile comes out with her chains and a braid and a... Braid? She has a braid, right? Oh, this is where I was confused. When I watched it, and spoiler alert, there's a disqualification ending, they didn't ring the bell. And I was like, that's weird. Did someone forget to ring the bell? But then, before recording, I decided to rewatch the segment. The match never actually started, so that's why the bell never rung. Because when Ivy Nile gets into the ring, Maxine Dupree gives her a drop kick out of the ring, and then does a fisherman suplex on the floor, and, like, she's getting some really great offense in. Like, Maxine, props to Maxine, she killed it. Like, she looked great. And then when they get back into the ring, Ivy Nile gives Maxine a roundhouse kick, and she's there standing when suddenly the lights start going down. So we continue this motif of the Wyatt Six turning on people that are, deemed family or friends, whatever. But in this particular case, American Made, as Ivy has now joined American Made and turned on her pal, Maxine Dupree. So the lights go out, smoke starts billowing in the ring, and then Nikki Cross appears, though is she now going by Abby the Witch or Nikki Cross? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, Nikki Cross comes into the ring and tackles Ivy out of the ring, and the rest of the Wyatt Six come in and attack Chad Gable and American Made. So I'm hoping that this will actually lead to like multi-person match of the White Six versus American Made. That would be a good match. Maybe Survivor Series. Maybe Bad Blood. Bad Blood's just around the corner. Could be good. So the next couple segments, I'm just going to lump into one because they were very same. First, the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and, I almost said Dominic Mysterio out of habit. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest cut a promo and say that they're going to put Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio through the mat in Berlin. And then Liv Morgan and Dominic cut their own promo and, like, just same thing. We're just killing time, getting ready for the pay-per-view. PLE, PPE, I don't know. But then later in the episode, we get another backstage segment with Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Rhea says that the match that Damian has tonight with Dominic Mysterio feels like a trap, and he agrees. As Damian makes his way to the ring, the Judgment Day attack him. It's just chaos. They're, like, all involved. It's, 5-on-2? So Liv throws Rhea into the ring post, and then in the ring, like, they hold Damian Priest down while Finn does the coup de grace, and then Dominic does the frog splash, and Liv hits the Oblivion on Rhea. And at the end, they stand tall. So finally, we have Judgment Day getting the upper hand. And then, of course, the Judgment Day cut a promo and like, see, that's just a taste of what we're going to do to you at Bash in Berlin. Goth. Spooky. Yeah. Then, later in the episode, we have a women's match. We have not just a women's match, we have a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have the teams of Damage Control, Io Sky and Kairi Sane, versus the champions, Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, versus a name that I haven't been yet to say on the podcast, the team of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, Pure Fusion Collective. Now, I know that every wrestling content creator on the internet has made fun of this absolutely abhorrent name. Like, what were they thinking? I really would like to know who it was that came up with this name. Was it someone from creative, or was it one of the girls? Like, it's... oh my god, it's just so bad. Like, I don't understand the concept. I've read online that apparently, like, it's meant to be so that they're called PFC, and apparently PFC stands for pretty fucking crazy, but, like, Pure Fusion Collective? What does that even mean? Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I'm trying to think back of a worse name for a team. New Catch Republic was pretty bad. Like, it doesn't take much to come up with a better name. Like, SBS? Stark, Baszler, Sonya. That doesn't work. DBS? SBD? I don't know. Pure Fusion Collective? What about, okay, the name that we gave them? Muscle Mary Alliance. MMA. That's camp. That's a good name. Honestly, they should just hire us at this point. We could help. Anyway, so we have a women's tag team championship match, and it was actually a great match. I'd also like to note, I love that Io has changed up her ring gear, and that her and Kairi are wearing, like, matching or complementary gear to, like, you know, show that they are a tag team. And I think they've turned Damage Control face, because, like, in this team you've got Pure Fusion Collective, heel team, Unholy Union, heel team. So yeah, I think they're finally leaning into the fact that the crowd absolutely loves Io Sky and Kairi Sane, obviously, and they're just giving them the opportunity to be faces. I love that.
Love that kind of stuff.
So yes, I love the gear that Damage Control are wearing. I honestly feel like I could be a member of Damage Control today. Then the Pure Fusion Collective were wearing matching gear with was black and blue with a blue motif. Love that. And then the Unholy Union matching gear with like a black and yellow motif. Like, it was good that, they all looked like a matching set. Love. So the match breaks out into a brawl pretty much straight away. I believe the rules of this triple threat tag team match is that 2 people can be in the ring at any given time. But because it's a triple threat match, it's also no disqualification. So, like, it doesn't really matter if someone else comes into the ring. Honestly, it was fun. It was chaos. I lived. Before an ad break breaks up the match, Io sends Kyrie out of the ring to do a flippy move onto the Muscle Mary Alliance, and then Io does a suicide dive out onto the champions. For this entire match, I genuinely thought that Damage Control were going to win the titles. Like, they were killing it. Honestly, this match, there was lots of great offense. All the teams looked really strong, including the champions. And they managed to retain via pinfall. I can't actually remember how it went down. I didn't make a note of it. But coming out of it, the champions looked really strong, which I think has been needed. Like, we've really not seen much of them. So yeah, work. Love that. And that match was 9 minutes, 25 seconds. I'm going to try and document this going forward, how long the matches are, so we know what's going on. But that's all we had for Raw. 3 hours. We had that Judgment Day segment, the 3 promo segments, no, 4 actually, the 4 Judgment Day promo segments, and a 9.5 minute tag match. So, yeah, I feel like there could have been some more, but that's fine. I won't be too greedy. Won't be too greedy this week. Let's have a little break, and I'll see you guys back here in just a second. The Diva podcast is sponsored by Salon Extensions,
offering all of our listeners a discount on the exclusive ponytail line from the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15's Sasha Colby.
Plus, any of our listeners who are licensed cosmetologists, you can receive 15% off of all hair extensions in their pro store.
Because if it's good enough for mother, it's good enough for a diva doll like you.
You can now use code DIVADOLLS at checkout to get 15% off any of your purchases.
Cause you're a GODDESS.
Shop now at www.salonextensions.com.
That's SALONXTENSIONS.com. And we are back at Friday Night SmackDown in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. Elektra Lopez is the first diva that we get to see, and she comes out with Santos Escobar for his WWE United States Championship match against L.A. Knight. I really hope in that gap you said the yeah while you're watching or listening to this. Before the match, Legado del Fantasma attack L.A. Knight, and Elektra Lopez gets ejected from the arena. Very sad, but she looked gorgeous. The next up, we had another 6-woman tag match, except this time it was 3-on-3. So we had the team of Bianca, Belair, Jade, Cargill, and Naomi going up against Blair Davenport and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Unholy Union, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. And it was another great match. We had what were they wearing? Blair had Davenport and Unholy Union were wearing their usual black, gothy kind of stuff. They looked like a cohesive unit as a team. And then Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, I believe it was Bianca and Naomi, were wearing gear inspired by the US Olympic gymnastic teams. I'm pretty sure they were the gymnastic teams. I'm not 100% sure. I saw a post on X/Twitter. It was so camp. I loved it. We love it when they have a reference. When I first saw the gear, I was like, "Oh, boo boo, no, don't like that." But then when I saw that it was a reference, I was like, I like it a little bit more. I like it more because you're not just wearing something ugly for the sake of it. It's got a meaning. What does that mean? It's fine. It's my opinion, right? It was a really great match. Genuinely didn't know which way the match was going to go. There was a lot of just great offense. My favorite part of the entire match was where Jade Cargill just randomly hit a choke slam on Isla Dawn. I loved it. I think Bianca Belair hit a diving crossbody on the Unholy Union and Jade Cargill out on the outside. And then on the inside, Naomi hit a split-legged moonsault for the win. A move that I love and I haven't seen in such a long time. Obviously, always reminds me of Rob Van Dam, one of my favorites. But yeah, it was such a great match. Again, funnily enough, it was also 9.5 minutes, which I think was just the number of the week, I guess. But it's such an entertaining match. All the women put on a great show. Yeah, for the two actual women's matches that we got this week, just tag team matches, it was really good, and I was happy to see so many women get an opportunity. I mean, props to the tag champs, Alba and Isla. They put in double duty this week and delivered. I really hope that it's enough for people to, I don't know, put a little respect on their names. Yeah, I hope so. And then, so after that match, we go to commercial. When we come back, there is a segment talking about the history of the WWE in performing in Germany, narrated by Natalia. So Natalia recently went through contract negotiations, contract negotiations, and it turns out she's done all of that to talk about the WWE when they were in Germany in 1997. All that just for her to not even show up, but just to talk about when other people were in Germany. Poor love. I feel conflicted because I know that previously when Natty is there, I'm like, ugh, boring. Can we have someone else?
Boring! Boring!
But now I almost just feel bad for her. I know that she's a great mind and could be doing so much to elevate new talent. Why don't they have her over on NXT? I know she's done that previously, but who knows? Maybe she is. Maybe she is just in the PC, training people and doing that. But I don't know. I just want them to do a little bit more with her. I mean, I want them to do more with everyone, and I know that you can't. There's only X amount of segments in a week, but really narrating a fucking segment about the history of WWE in Germany? Ugh. Give me a break. BFAB, she's there. Street Profits have a tag team title match against the Bloodline, and they lose. After the match, they're getting beaten down, and DIY come in and make the save. After the match, there is a segment where Byron Saxton is outside the trainer's room and catches BFAB on her way out. She says they're all fine, but Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell show up. I don't know what the point of this was. I assume maybe we're going to get Candice and Indy involved with DIY, which would make sense. Candice and Johnny are married and have a child. I know that, I don't know. I don't know what it means. But hey, We got more women on TV. Can't complain too much, right? Next, we have an interesting vignette, promo segment where Michin she's talking about, I don't know, how dangerous she is, and she's hyping up the fact that she's got a street fight with Nia Jax next week for the WWE Women's Championship, and like words flash up on the screen during this vignette in like Comic Sans, and like it's just bizarre, absolutely bizarre. And then it ends with like Michin in some cheap font. Like, okay, Diva, work. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that Michin is, you know, getting an opportunity. We love that. We props to Michin. She deserves it. But like, what was this promo? I don't know. Like, felt weird. She was like smashing things with a bat. What? Next up, we have we're backstage with Tiffany Stratton and Pretty Deadly. And Pretty Deadly have hot glue guns out, and they're trying to repair Queen Nia's crown, which was destroyed last week by Michin in Nia Jax's championship celebration. And I'm going to quickly touch on that, because last week we had Nia Jax wearing a Sasha Colby ponytail. Because, obviously, we were able to get some of the girls their own ponytail, and she's now Diva number 2 to be wearing a Sasha Colby ponytail on TV. We live, and also we love. It is such a bizarre segment. Nia rolls in and she's talking about how she's so upset that Michin attacked her last week, and she can't wait to destroy her next week in a street fight. And Tiffany is like, I'm so sorry, is there anything we can do? And she's like, fix my crown. So Pretty Deadly like pick up the crown and scurry off with it with their hot glue guns. So funny. When I watched it the first time, I thought they had like a soldering iron. Either way, I'm so happy that they have put Pretty Deadly here, because it is actually such a great storyline for them to be in, because, you know, they're British, they can, you know, now be monarchists or whatever. Like, it's just so silly. So silly. I love it. I love it. I love this storyline. After they all scurry off, the camera pans out and they're like behind a wall, but like Chelsea has, you know, placed herself there, and she's like, I hate to talk about someone behind their back. However, and starts going on about how she thinks that Tiffany is just in this relationship with Nia Jax so that she can find the right opportunity to pounce and cash in her Miss Money in the Bank briefcase. And I also love that Chelsea keeps calling her Tacky Time. So funny. My favorite line about the whole thing was Chelsea saying, it was so pink, it almost gave me pink eye about the celebration. So silly. But then Nia pops her head around the corner and she's like, oh, did you hear everything we were just saying? Every single word? And Nia's like, I am not in the mood. And they scurry off. I absolutely love this. So, like, it so makes sense that they're building a, like, rivalry. Like, the teams of Chelsea and Piper against Tiffany and Nia. Like, oh, okay, I did not mean for that to happen. But those teams would be, like, it's such a great match. Like, visually, physically, in the ring. Like, I just love it. And it makes sense because, you know, Chelsea almost won Miss Money in the Bank. Except if it hadn't have been for Tiffany Stratton pushing her off the ladder and through those tables, it would have been her. So now she's trying to seek her revenge and fuck things up for Tiffany. Honestly, just great. Absolutely great. I love it. So that was all of the women's segments we had on SmackDown this week. But I just wanted to quickly touch on the fact that the brackets of the WWE Speed tournament have been announced. We know who's actually competing in the matches for the Speed tournament. So we have Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky, Naomi versus Blair Davenport, Elektra Lopez versus Kairi Sane, and Candice LeRae versus Piper Niven. We love that finally Elektra Lopez is getting some singles match opportunities. Like, we'll see if she's able to best Kairi Sane. I have a feeling that Kairi will probably advance instead of Elektra, but I'm excited for Elektra to have this opportunity. There's some people that I'm surprised are not in this, like Io and Naomi probably, I would say, aren't needed, but I do also understand that, you know, they want to get eyes on it, so it probably does make sense to have some of those bigger names in the tournament. 4 names I've written down. Natalya, she could have been in it. Kiana James, where's she at? What's she doing? Indy Hartwell, Australian Diva, would love to see her. And Tegan Knox, where's she at? For the longest time, I thought she was injured. I had a look today. She's not injured. Don't know where she is. But yes, I believe that tournament kicks off on the 3rd of September. Maybe the 4th. I think the 4th, actually. Could be the 5th here in Australia. But I'm very excited. And we will be covering the WWE Speed tournament right here on the Diva Dolls podcast. Well, I think we need to do some predictions for Bash in Berlin, but let's have a quick little break, and I'll see you back here in a second. Hi, I'm Stacy Queen.
And I'm Eluara, and guess what? We're on Patreon!
Oh my god, it is finally happening. There is so many exciting things happening over at Patreon. If you search for the Diva Dolls Pod, there's different tiers, there's exclusive content, and you even will get a chance to have a little shout out in one of our episodes.
Oh, we want to hear from you. We want to say your name and scream it loud. Johnny!
For details and more info, be sure to check the show notes or the description down below, and you can find us over on Patreon.
We'll see you there. Give us your money and I'll show you my nipples. Ooh.
Okay, and we are back from our break, and I think it's time for some WWE Bash in Berlin predictions. Now, as some of you may know, we do our predictions here on the Diva Dolls Pod for the Diva Dolls Pod Prediction Championship, and Eluara is currently the Diva Dolls Pod Predictions Champion. So, I'm going to give this bitch a call. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Really? Uh-huh. That big? Okay, I'll catch you on the close friend story. Alright, bye, Diva. Ow. Okay. I've got our predictions. Okay, so the first match we're going to discuss is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Unholy Union versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I'm going to say that it's the Unholy Union that win this one. I don't think their time is up yet. And I feel like they might keep it and then go into a program with, like, the Muscle Marys or the Damage Control. But, yeah, I don't think that Bianca and Jade are going to have their match yet. Though, to be fair, Bianca and Jade lost the titles, 3 months ago? And the issue I had earlier was that before the 6-women tag match on SmackDown, they announced that there would be the Albert Isla Bianca Jade match at Bash in Berlin. Like, why wouldn't they announce that after Bianca and Jade got the win with Naomi? Like, surely that would have been the time to announce the match. Like, when I saw that match was happening, I was like, oh, so Bianca and Jade are winning. So yeah, my prediction is Unholy Union, and Ella's prediction, also Unholy Union. I'm gonna keep it pushing. Okay, so the next match is the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now, I believe that CM Punk will win this one, just because, obviously, we're building towards, whether it be a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, as it's widely rumoured on the internet, it might not be, but who knows. I think that CM Punk needs to get one up so that they're even heading into the third match. And LOR agrees. Okay, the WWE... I was going to say women's. The WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Cody's not losing. And Ella agrees that Cody Rhodes is not losing his championship. It's cool that Kevin is getting an opportunity, but, like, we know he's not losing. We have the World Heavyweight Championship match of Gunther versus Randy Orton. Gunther's winning. Cody still needs to have his match with Randy. Gunther's winning. And Ella also agrees that Gunther will retain his championship. Though I'm very excited for the match. Hopefully they do some kind of shenanigans calling back to the King of the Ring tournament final where Gunther didn't get Randy's shoulders down. Maybe they might do something with that in the match. I don't know. I'm excited for it, though. I feel like it'll be a good match. And then the final match that we're going to discuss is the mixed tag team match of the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, versus Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Now, Ella believes that Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio will get the win. However, I believe that Rhea and Damian are going to get the win so that Rhea has, a reason to go for the Women's World Championship at the next PLE. Whether they have a cage match, like a Hell in a Cell match, I think that would be a really good match. But yeah, I think it's going to be Rhea and Damian Priest. Hopefully. Mommy. I got lots of mommy up in here. And then finally, our wild card predictions. I thought by the time I was recording, I would have one. I still can't think of one. I mean, I will think of one, but it's just not coming to mind off the bat. My prediction for my wildcard prediction is that Rhea Ripley will do the Riptide on Dominic Mysterio. And Ella's wildcard prediction is that the Bianca and Jade cracks start happening when they lose. So she believes that this will start the cracks and start the feud between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, which will be camp to see. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. You can find me everywhere on social media at the Stacy Queen, and you can follow the Diva Dolls Pod everywhere at Diva Dolls Pod. Be sure to give us a follow or subscribe wherever you watch or listen to us, and if you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell so you find out whenever a new episode comes out. Normally, I would say see you on Friday for the Classique, but not for a little bit. We will have a new episode, hopefully coming very, very soon, perhaps with a special guest. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm going to tap out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Diva.
The Diva Dolls podcast is brought to you by Stacy Queen and Ella Warren. All names, photos, videos, and audio used in this podcast are trademarks and copyrighted materials owned by the WWE and TKO Group Holdings. This podcast is not affiliated with or endorsed by the WWE and is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
I genuinely thought that... It's raining out there. Jesus.